What if I told you that the page most potential clients visit on your design website is probably hurting you instead of helping you? Would you be curious? Hey there, I'm Mark Decote, and I'm here to tell you something that changed how I approach designing websites. Your About page isn't about you. And one thing I've noticed over all these years is that freelance designers pour everything into their portfolio pages, which makes sense, right? You want people to see your work. But then your About page becomes an afterthought. A few quick paragraphs, maybe a photo, and done. Well, here's the problem. Your About page is probably the second most visited page on your entire website. Go ahead, check your analytics. I bet you that I'm right. In fact, if you Google what's the second most important page on a website, the list tells you it's the About page. Now, I want you to think about the last time you found a designer online, a fellow designer, whether a friend or somebody you met, and you looked at their website. What's the first thing you did? Well, if you're anything like me, you probably landed on either their portfolio or their homepage. But then you immediately looked at their About page. Because in your mind, you don't hire a portfolio. You hire a person, a designer. And your potential clients are doing the exact same thing. They land on your site, they see your work, and then they click that About link to figure out one thing. Should I trust this person enough to work with them? But here's where it gets frustrating. Most About pages fail because they do the exact opposite of what they should. They're all about you, your story, your background, your education, your hobbies, all of it. Now, don't get me wrong, some of that does matter. But if your About page is basically a dating profile, hi, I'm Mark, and I love long walks on the beach and running out with my dog, Loki. If that's the sort of thing you have, you're losing clients before they even see your contact form. Your About page should focus on your client's needs, not on you. Now, I know that kind of sounds contradictory. It's literally called an About page, but your visitors aren't there to learn who you are. They're there to figure out why they should care that you exist. If your About page doesn't answer that question, why would they look at anything else on your website? Now, over the years, I've looked at hundreds of pages for design businesses, and I've noticed that the great ones all share 5 specific sections. And these sections work together to do one thing. They convince a potential client that you are the right designer for their next project. And here's the beautiful part. It doesn't matter if you're a solo designer, a small design studio, or a large agency, or anything else in between. The framework still works. Let's start with the first section. And this is where most fail, like immediately right out of the gate, they fail right here. And that is that your About page needs to open with a hook. Something that grabs your visitor's attention so fast that they don't even think about clicking away. Now, a good hook gets into the head of your potential client. Right away, like it just stops them. It shows them that you understand their problem. Now, here's what it may look like if you're a logo designer. Are you tired of your brand looking like every other business on your block? Do you have a great idea but don't know how to show it to the world? Are you wondering how to stand out from your competition? Notice what just happened? You didn't say, I'm a logo designer. You asked questions that your clients are actually asking themselves. The moment they read that and think, yes, that's me, they're hooked. Now, how do you figure out what questions to ask? Simple. Listen to your existing clients. Over time, you'll hear the same concerns come up again and again. Well, those are the questions that you put right at the top of your About page. Now, after the hook, the second section is where you talk about benefits, not services. These are 2 completely different things. Your services are what you do. You design logos, you build websites, you create brand identities or whatever. What you want are the benefits. And that's what your clients get out of it. They get a brand that connects with their audience. They get noticed. They get clients calling them because the design is so good that it speaks for itself. Talk about the benefits. Make them picture what life will look like after they hire you. Now we get to section 3. And this is where you prove that you're the real deal. You share your accomplishments. Have you won any awards? Have you been featured in any publications? Have you worked with any notable brands or clients? Put it all here. But here's the key. Do not gloat. You're not saying, hey, look how great I am because I worked with these people. You're saying, I'm the person who can solve your problem because I've done this before for these people. Now, this section is also perfect for 1 or 2 client testimonials, and not generic ones like, Mark is an amazing designer. You want real ones, specific ones that target an issue. Mark redesigned our website and our orders tripled, or Mark redesigned our brand and now we finally look as professional as we feel. Now, as a potential client, when I see that, I'm thinking, I wonder what Mark could do for my business. Now, section 4 is finally where you actually get to talk about yourself. And I do mean finally. By this point, your visitors already know what you can do and why you're qualified. Now they want to know a little bit about you. This is also where you include a photo of yourself. And this matters way more than you think. People want to work with people they know, like, and trust. And a photo makes you familiar. It builds trust before they've ever even talked to you. I want you to limit this section to 2 or 3 paragraphs max. Tell them how you got into design, what made you fall in love with it, maybe include a hobby or something personal that shows your personality. This is where you build or start building that relationship. This is where someone reading your About page goes, yeah, I think I'd like to work with this person. I remember years ago, I looked at a designer's About page and just laughed. The very first line of this section said, hi, I'm a Scottish graphic designer and I'm very good at it. Being a graphic designer, that is. I'm only so-so at being Scottish. And that line showed me that this designer had personality and that he didn't take himself too seriously. And I immediately thought, this is someone I'd love to work with. And now comes section 5, which is probably the most important section and also the most neglected. After you've walked someone through everything, your hook, your benefits, your accomplishments, and your story, you need to tell them what to do next. Don't make them guess. Don't bury your contact information somewhere else on your website. Put a big, obvious button, or better yet, put a contact form right there at the bottom of your About page titled, if you think I'm the right designer for your project, fill out this form and let's talk. I know designers who get more inquiries through their About page than they do through their dedicated contact page. Why? Because by the time someone's finished reading your About page, they should be so excited that they're ready to reach out. Don't make them hunt for how to contact you. And here's the thing about your About page that I don't want you to forget. It's not static. You should be reviewing it at least once a year. Set yourself a reminder on your calendar. Go in and check your analytics. Are people spending time on your About page? Are they clicking your CTA? If not, update it, test it, move things around. Your About page is one of the best pages on your site for A/B testing. Try 2 different versions, see which one converts better, and keep the winner. That's it. One more thing before we wrap up. Please don't date your About page with specific numbers. Don't say, I've been a designer for 12 years. Say, I've been a designer since 2014. And don't mention exact anniversaries, like celebrating my 5th anniversary. And please don't list awards with the years you won them, unless they're very recent. Because if you're not diligent about keeping your About page updated, suddenly you will look outdated. If someone were to go today and saw that you won an award in 2023, they're going to wonder what happened in 2024, 2025, 2026, and so on. Why didn't you win the awards then? Are you no longer as good or whatever? So please, mention that you won the award, leave off the date. If you leave off any of those specifics, your About page stays fresh, even if you forget to update it. Now look, your About page isn't going to guarantee new clients. Nothing does. But it will drastically improve your chances of converting people who land on that page. I want you to think about how many potential clients may be visiting your About page right now and then leaving without contacting you. That's business left on the table. That's projects you could be doing. That's income you could be making. All because your About page doesn't actually convince them to hire you. So here's what I want you to do. Go back to your website today. Look at your About page like you're a potential client who's never even heard of you. Does it speak to your problems? Does it prove you can help? Does it make you trust the person behind the business? If the answer to any of these questions is no, it's time to rebuild using these 5 sections. And if you find that this was helpful, please hit that subscribe button. I put content out every week specifically for freelance designers who want to grow their design business without burning out. And you're going to want to see what else I've got in store for you. Till next time, stay creative.